If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I've been getting a lot of requests for some more filament videos. It seems as though you guys really liked the admin panel series that we did. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to go into some packages that were made for filament and just pretty much do a deep dive into some of them and just getting them up and running and seeing how they work. Now, I've been trying to push away from Livewire for a while. And so I figured this would be the last big thing that I do with Livewire for a bit. I do have one more project in mind, and I've decided to just kind of push that back a bit just so that I could move on from it. A few weeks ago, I decided to let you guys tell me what you wanted me to do for filament. So we had a bunch of different polls and people contributed to it. And basically that's how we came to our final 5 here. As you can see, we're doing the Spatie activity logs and the Spatie settings. That's probably going to be one video. We're working with 2 dashboards, admin and standard user. We are setting up an electronic signature. We're going to have some kind of active and inactive statuses for table items. I haven't figured out how we're going to do that yet, but that is in our future. We also have the using Socialite to log in using a Google account. So these are things that I've been working on. Right now I have about 1.5 out of these 5 that are ready to be recorded and put out. So I'm probably going to put the first one out next week because I have very little time to record, edit, and make sure you get it out in a good enough amount of time. So I think doing them weekly will allow me to do that. After this is all completed, I hope that you guys get your fix for filament and Livewire out of your system, at least partially, and it'll be something for me to learn as well. But when we are finished this series, I am not going to be touching filament probably for a very long time, as well as Livewire I'm not going to be touching for a very long time. This video is going to be the setup for our project. I want to make sure we are all on the same page with what I'm using so that, you're not confused when I'm using one function from something or what have you. So we're going to do all of the setup today. Right now, I have a Laravel application already set up and ready to go. We have some authentication built in, and I will take you to the composer.json so we can take a look and see what I have. For our purposes, I am using Laravel Framework 10.10. That's the version that I'm using. I'm using Laravel Jetstream 3.2, Sanctum 3.2. It was already built in, but it already came with the default installation, so we already have it. We don't have to set anything up for that. I also have Livewire installed, and I am using 2.11. As far as we're concerned down here, we have Faker, we have Sail. It's already part of it. All this stuff really, it just comes with all the installation, so that's nothing to worry about. In the package.json, I have Tailwind installed. It comes with Alpine.js. Axios is already built in. Laravel Vite, that's the version that I'm using. I'm using Vite for our project. And if we take a look at the environment file, I have a database already set up. This is the name of it. And I'm using Sail, so I have Sail as the username and password as the DB password. That should be good to go. Let's close all of this up and go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to do is I want to set up Spatie's Laravel-Permissions. Now, our setup is going to be just like the setup for the Filament admin panel series that I did. The only difference is we're not going to go into details about providers or anything like that. We're not going into super detail. So this is just going to be a very basic setup. If you want more detail, feel free to go ahead and watch that series where I cover this in depth. I want to go down and install the Spatie permission package. And that means I need to go up here where it says installation in Laravel. We can use this for version 10 and nothing has really changed all that much in it. So let's go ahead and grab this so that we can require it. I'm going to open up the terminal and I'm going to go ahead and paste that in. But because I am using Sail, I need to do Sail Composer. I'm going to leave links in the description and in the pinned comments for all of the things that we are using, including the repository for this series. Okay, great. Now that that's installed, let's continue on. Because we're using Laravel 10, we don't have to include the provider here, but we do want to publish the vendor files. Go ahead and paste that in. Of course, I forgot that I'm using Sail, so instead of PHP Artisan, I need to do Sail. Okay, great. Let's go back to the documentation and see if there's anything else that we need. Okay, scroll down, and then we can run PHP Artisan migrate, and we need to add the has roles trait to the user model. So let's go ahead and take care of that. I am going to add it under as profile photo, and I need to import it. And there it is right there, the Spatie permission traits. Now, before we migrate anything, I do want to create the seeder for it. So let's go ahead and open this up, close that. And then I'll run sail artisan make seeder roles and permissions seeder. This way we can have roles, permissions, users already good to go and set up within our project. We'll go to database, seeders, and start fleshing this out. I'm going to bring this up. Now, what I am going to do is I am just going to go ahead and paste in everything that we need for this seeder. Let's go ahead and import all of these. Okay, we need the Spatie's permission model, the role model, the model user, illuminate support string, and I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have. Now, again, I went over all of this in the Filament admin panel series, and I got some great suggestions to put these in a config file. And I might make a video, maybe not necessarily with Filament, but pretty much I do the same thing anytime I use the Spatie's permission manager, which is basically just create a bunch of permissions like this. We have a miscellaneous, user permissions, role permissions, permissions, and admin permissions. And then we just create the different roles. We attach the permissions to the roles and then the roles to the user. This is just to make sure that we have some of these things available to us as we work on this project. This is just for demos. These are just to make sure that we have some data in our database that we can work with, manipulate, do all kinds of CRUD functionalities, display things, and so forth and so on. I created all of these admins up here, and at the bottom, I created users. So we're looping over between 1 and 5, and I chose 5 because we're going to be adding some other things to this later, and 5 is a pretty good number for us to start with. Again, we are creating them. We have the isAdmin is 0, and we are going to go ahead and change this in the user model and the migration as well. So let's go ahead and do that here. Let's also add it to the migration, and I'll put it here. And I also want to give it a default of 0 so that we don't get any errors, because we're not adding this, we're not working on authentication, so we're not adding it to any of our 4 to 5 functions to create a user, edit a user, anything like that. So I'll just leave it like that here. So our seeder is done. Let's go ahead and make it so that we can seed it with our migrations. Okay, so the function is going to be this call, and we'll say roles and permission seeder class, and that's all that we need for that. Let me make a little space here. So let's go ahead and try to migrate this and see what we have. And because I have it already in the database, I need to drop the tables and remigrate the database. So we'll do migrate fresh and then seed. Okay, great. So as you can see, it dropped all the tables, it created the migration table, and then it ran all of our migrations as well as seeding the database. So I'm going to go ahead and close these out. And then I want to head over to the Filament documentation and install it. So we'll go down to installation, and then we'll grab this, open up our terminal, paste that in, and then I need to do sail. And then we'll go ahead and let that install. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and see if there's anything else left for us to install. Okay, you can use this command if you want to in the composer.json. You can also make a filament user, which we just seeded the database with a bunch of admins, so we don't really need to deal with this yet. We should be able to head to the admin route now and see. But the other thing that I want to do is I want to use the filament configuration. And that looks like it published the config file for us. And that should be pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can see that in the admin route. Okay, so we're good to go. We can go ahead and log in our user, and we'll just do admin at admin.com. Password is password, and then remember me, and we'll go ahead and log right in. So we've been logged in, and you can see we have been put on the dashboard. And as you can see, if we look at our database, we've got some users. We only have 8 because we have 4 admins and then 4 users. We have roles, we have permissions, and we just have a variety of things, but our database is already set up, so that's good. Okay, now that we're all set up, I want to go ahead and start creating some of our resources. So the first one that I want to work on is for permissions. So we'll do sail artisan. Again, if you're not using sail, it's PHP artisan. Make filament resource. I want this to be a modal, so we'll call it permission. And then we'll add the simple flag on it, and that will make sure that we have a very simple resource where we can just use the modal. Okay, great. So let's drop this and let's open up our app filament. You can see here we have the permission resource. And if you open it up, we have this manage permissions file in here as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on the resource first. Now let's head down to the table. Okay, so we'll go ahead, paste that in, and then I'll go ahead and import this. Don't worry about these errors. I think my VS Code isn't really updated. I haven't updated it really in a while, so that's why you're getting these little squiggly lines, but it should be good. And our edit, action, delete, all this stuff is good. And all we're going to do is the ID, the name, the created at, and we have sortable, and the name column is going to be searchable, as well as the created at column. Okay, and then we're just formatting the date time. Okay, great. So now we have the permissions in the menu over here. We're going to go ahead there and see if we see our table. We want to make sure that it has all of the columns that we set. Okay, well, we're getting our first error. App models permission is not found, and that is true. One of the things that we did is it specifies the model and the permission, and up here we are using the app models permission, which we don't have. We are using the Spatie's permission. So we'll go ahead and import that, and it will be this one right here. Okay, let's try to refresh and see if it says the same thing. Okay, good. So now we have it, and you can see our permissions are here. They are displaying 10 of 15 results, which is perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and work on this modal as well. It'll pop up, but it doesn't do anything because we haven't filled out anything in here. And all I'm going to do in here is paste that in. We have the schema where we have a card, text input, and we have our name. And I set the field as unique with ignore record true, so that whether you're creating or you're editing it, doesn't really matter. It'll ignore record if you're updating it, and it'll be unique if you are creating it. Okay, so let's go ahead and import that. Form components card and text input. Okay, let's make sure that that is displaying. Okay, so this was the old one without anything, so we'll go ahead and refresh it. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and click new permission. And now we can just go ahead and say test permission. You see now it's 16 results. So if we go to the end, my computer's running real slow because I am recording while I'm doing this, so it's just running a little slow. But as you can see, we have the toast notification up there, and it has loaded up. So our test permission, which is 16, that's the one that we just created. Fantastic. Now, the next one that I want to work on is the role resource. And before I go there, I want to show you that all of these are pretty much the same things that I used with the Filament admin panel series. I just copied them over, adjusted them slightly, and we're using the same thing. Let's go ahead and make the role resource. Instead of permission, we'll do role. Instead of simple, we'll just leave it the way that it is. And that should be good. Let's go ahead to the app filament resources. And you can see it right here. And the role resource, all I want to open up is the create and the edit. So in here, same thing. We're going to go ahead and fill out the table. And we just need a couple of columns in here. And we'll go ahead and import that. Edit, delete action. I want to put this is the delete bulk action. I also want to put the delete action. That should be good for now. Let's go ahead up to the form and fill that out. And again, just the name, and we are going to select the permissions since it does have a relationship to attach. And let's bring in the right model. It's not this one. That one. Okay, let's see what we have. Go ahead and refresh the page. Here we go. Let's go ahead and click it. Here we go. We have our user. This is a user role, super admin role, admin, moderator, developer role. We could also create one. Everything works the exact same way. We'll go ahead and create it. And we weren't able to import that, did I not? Card. Thought I imported it. We'll go ahead and do that one. Components and this one. And while we're here, I want to go into the create role. I want to add this function. What this function does is when a resource is created, then it'll redirect back to the index page. And without it, I think it goes directly to that resource. Okay, so I want it to go back to the index. Same thing for the edit. We'll go ahead and add that and we should be good to go. So let me just drop these. Those are done. And let's go ahead and refresh and make sure that we can create a role resource. Okay, select. I forgot to import that one as well. Let's go ahead and do that. And it's been brought in, so we should be good. I imported these already. Okay, let's try it one more time. Good, so now we have this permissions list, the select, and we can create a role. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll do permission, delete user. Doesn't really matter. This is just to test it. Okay, and as you can see, it's been created. We have our notification right here, and here is our new role with an actual name. Okay, so let's just go ahead, open it up. And as you can see, the permissions are being brought from the database, and these are the permissions that we gave this role. The other thing that I want to do is add the relation manager to that. Okay, so here we're going to open this up, and then we'll do sail artisan, make filament relation manager. The parent resource that we're going to use is role resource, and it's going to be the permissions table, and we're going to link it with the name. So let's go ahead and let that run, and then we can go ahead and configure that. Okay, good. So let's drop this. Let's go ahead and open up that permission. That's the wrong one. It is under role resource, and need to refresh this. Relation managers, it's under role resource. And here's the permissions relation manager. Okay, so let me make that a little bit bigger. Scroll down a bit, and we should be good. This is going to have a little bit of a form, a little bit of a table. All of this was already set up for us. So the only thing that we really need to do is register it in our role resource. Okay, so we'll come down to where it says get relations. And then we'll do permissions relation manager class. And that should have imported. So let's go and make sure. Permissions relation manager. So let's go and make sure that that has been populated in the role resource. Okay, good. So as you can see, we have the relation manager right down here. So this is the role resource that we're in. And here's the attached permission relation manager down here where you can create the new permission, edit, blah, 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 blah. So the next thing I want to do is work on the user resource, and then we should be good to go. Now, to create the user resource, I want to try something a little bit different, and that is to generate it. So we need to do PHP composer require doctrine deval, and we'll make it dev. Did it again. I don't know what I was doing here, but here we go. And what this is going to do is allow us to use the generate method or flag on it. Now that that's been installed, we can run the command sail artisan or PHP artisan make filament resource. It'll be the user resource, and now we can just use the generate flag on that. Okay, great. So let me show you what that has actually done for us. We open up the filament folder and we go to the user resource here. You can see all of our form has been filled out. All of our table has been filled out. And even though we don't want to use all of this, it's still pretty good. Now, I know someone is going to ask, Nico, why didn't you show us this with the roles and the permissions? Well, it's because this function only really acknowledges the model when it is in the app models folder. And because our roles and permissions are coming from Spatie, they're not being acknowledged by the program. So we would just get an empty form and an empty table, which, you know, we already got that with the setup. So this is a pretty cool little function if you already have the model made. And I wanted to show you that because we're going to make another model later on when we get into some of the other packages. This is a pretty useful tool. Okay, let's see what we do and what we don't need. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the table. I'm just going to go ahead, paste this in, and we have a text column. Well, we have text column and we also have icon column. And this is the new way that they're doing for Boolean. Our isAdmin is a Boolean field. So just make sure that just use icon column instead of Boolean. So that is something that has changed. And again, we have the relationship to the roles. We have a little bit of a created at down here. For the edit action, I want to This isn't really necessary, but I'm just going to do it anyway, just so that we have it here. Okay, so let's go up and let's also work on the form. I'm just going to drop some of these. We're not going to use everything, of course, but we are going to be using these. Okay, so we'll have the name, we'll have the is admin. This is for the form. Again, with the ignore record, if the email is the same when we edit, we're not going to need most of this stuff, but it's good to just have it. They're not really imperative to the series, but let's be consistent. Text input is done, all of this stuff. This is for the table. I think it brought in all of those. Let's see, do we have page? We don't have page. Okay, so let's bring that in. And it's filament pages page. And we should be good. Let's go ahead and refresh it and see what we have. Now we have the user model. Let's go ahead to that. And everything is pretty much the same. The only thing that I want to do is also create the relation manager for that as well. Now, are these really relevant to something that we're doing? I have no idea yet because I haven't completed the series, so we'll find out together. So the relation manager and the parent resources user. So instead of permissions, it'll be roles. And then we'll go ahead and bring that to the user resource. We'll go down and we'll add that role relation. Let me go ahead and refresh this. User resource, there it is, roles relation manager. So as you can see, we've imported a lot of things, but let's make sure that that has been imported and that the page is good. Okay, great. So if we go down here, you see that the role manager, the roles relation manager has been put into the page. One more thing that I want to do before we go. In the user create and edit page, I also want to add this redirect. So we'll go add it here. And we'll also add it here. Great. Make sure you guys are subscribed and make sure to turn on the notifications because I'm not going to really be able to have a set schedule for this. I am going to try my best to get a video out once a week until we're finished. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and click that like button as it really does help out the channel. Here's a video YouTube thinks you'll like, and here's a playlist to follow along. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.